Today we're going to be talking about, wait, what are we talking about? Does that ever happen to you? It has to me. I used to do Facebook Live videos every Wednesday, and a couple of times I actually forgot what I was saying mid sentence. Now, while that wasn't a true distraction of something popping up on my screen or a noise, it was in fact brain fog. That is a distraction as well. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, how to overcome distractions so you can focus on your business like a pro. Hey there, I'm Melinda, the Orderly Entrepreneur, here to help you, the online business owner, streamline your business one easy button at a time. If you're here again, thank you for coming back. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. When we think of distractions, for me and for many, we automatically think dinging on the phone or something popping up as a notification, or maybe something popping up on your computer screen. But there are other things that can be distracting as well when you are working throughout the day. And that's part of what I'm going to be talking about today, because when you're trying to be productive and efficient, time saboteurs can be the culprit of a lot of wasted time. Now, I'm not going to sit here today and tell you that I don't get distracted and I've learned exactly how to completely get rid of distractions. I can tell you that I get distracted a lot, and I do know a lot of great strategies that you can use in order to overcome them. So, let's talk first a little bit about why we get distracted. Now, there's a handful of reasons why we do or can get distracted, but the ones that I'm going to list right now are really important and they pop up all the time for us as entrepreneurs. So, the first one is overcommitment, and that is something that happens all the time, right? We fill up our plate with way too much, and that leads into the second reason, which is lack of boundaries. We say yes all the time. We feel like we can't say no. We want to keep saying yes so that the opportunities are still there or that they still come, and we don't set up those boundaries. So, by doing that, we are allowing a lot more distraction in. Not having a plan is another reason why we get distracted. If we don't have a plan set in place, we can bounce all over the place from one task to another. And that in itself is a huge distraction. I call that bouncing. And one of the biggest and I think most important reasons why a lot of us can get distracted is because of things such as mental illness, physical illness, ADHD, depression, anxiety, anything that isn't the automatic, oh, that's a distraction, that's a red dot on my phone, I need to go look at it kind of notification. It's a hidden distraction that we don't really pay enough attention to. It takes 23 minutes and 15 seconds to get your brain to refocus on the task that you were doing before you bounced to something else. 23 minutes and 15 seconds. Now that adds up a lot if you're bouncing all over the place. It can add up to hours and hours of wasted time a day and per week. Now, the reason why I mentioned that mental illness, ADHD, anxiety, physical ailments can be a big distraction that we don't pay attention to is because all of those things affect our personal lives and how we show up in our business. And if we aren't showing up in our business as our best selves, everything that we do will get affected by it. So, if you have something such as depression or anxiety or ADHD, you can have things that make you forget what you're saying or make you want to do another task really quickly. And that's going to feel like a struggle, and it is. But there are things that you can do to overcome them, not get rid of them, but overcome them and find more time. What we want to do is minimize that 23 minutes and 15 seconds. So if you are bouncing 20 times a day, we want to minimize that. Maybe you bounce 5 times a day, or two, or even 10. It's going to be a whole lot less than 20. So you want to try to find as many things as you can, as many distractions as you can, and have awareness around those so that you can get rid of them as much as possible. And by doing that, you are going to bounce, but you're going to minimize how much you do it. So now that we know why we can get distracted, other than the typical notification that pops up, let's talk about what distractions really are. So I'm going to list out a big list of distractions. And while I'm doing that, I want you to think about what is actually on that list that could be distraction for you, and also have awareness of other things that pop into your mind, because I may not list exactly what is a distraction for you, but by seeing all of these different items, other things might pop up for you. And it's important for you to be aware of those and note them. Okay, so here's a long list. You've got emails, answering the phone, having people around while you're trying to focus, notifications, text messages, and the phone ringing while you're working, eating, having your pets around or being in an area where you have your pets, screensavers, social media, your physical environment. So you have the visual clutter of your physical environment, and then you also have the visual of your digital clutter as well. And going back to the reasons we get distracted, you also have mental distractions, and that can come from being stressed, it can come from being tired, overwhelmed, all of those things. You can have a lot of mental distractions that pop up. Distractions can be both digital and physical, as well as mental. And sometimes we only think of it in one way. So my goal for today is, if nothing else, to make you aware of things that you may not think of that could really be taking your focus away from your work and you being able to reach your goals. Okay, let's dive into ways to tackle and overcome this whole list of distractions that pop up all the time. I myself struggle with anxiety and depression, and I know all too well how it feels to not be able to remember something, how it feels to not want to do something and you try to do it anyway, but then you end up doing something else. So I have learned a thing or two about fighting distractions. Let's start off with the super obvious and easy. Turn your notifications off. Now, you can do this by turning your notifications off all the time, or you can create a habit where when you sit down to work or you have certain focus time, that's when you turn your notifications off. And there's lots of different notifications. You can get them on your computer and on your phone. You can get text message notifications, social media notifications. So try to think about all of the different things that pop up on your phone and your computer, and see if you can't silence those when you have a time that you need to focus. If you have a Mac or an iPhone, you can use the do not disturb or focus function to accomplish this. We want to get rid of these distractions to take control of our time. And in order to take control of your time, you need to set boundaries. So start being aware of when people ask you to do things, when you are offered opportunities, or if you feel the need to say yes to something. Be aware and try to say no if you can. Less is more when it comes to optimizing your calendar and optimizing your time. Social media and email are huge time saboteurs. You get on Facebook or you get on Instagram and the scroll automatically starts. It's very addicting. I personally am addicted to reels. I can scroll and watch doggy videos all day long, and it needs to be wrangled in and stopped because it's just a waste of time. So, what I suggest and what I do for myself is to schedule social media and email time. Remember the 23 minutes and 15 seconds with all of these things that I'm going to be listing. Anytime you bounce from one thing to another, you're wasting more and more time. So if you're doing a task and then you hop over to check your email, you're taking your brain power and your focus away from what you're doing, and you're going to have to recalibrate that. And that takes time. Not having a plan was one of the reasons why we can get distracted. So creating a plan and being intentional with your time is going to allow you to act instead of react. Setting timers to free your mind will be a game changer for you. I use timers every day and I use them for all kinds of things. I use timers to give me a focus time. So I'll give myself 30 minutes or an hour to do a task, and I'll have a timer go off at the end. I will have a timer set for a couple of minutes before a Zoom meeting because I have been known to miss meetings even though they're on my calendar. So I use timers for that. That's being intentional with your time, knowing that that is something that could happen. If you have something in the crock pot while you're working and you need to check on it, set a timer. Then you won't have to think about it until the timer goes off. If your child is napping, set a timer for when you think they may wake up. That way you're not constantly thinking, are they going to wake up? Are they going to wake up? Are they going to wake up? If you want to check social media or you want to get into your email, set a timer and wait till that timer goes off and then go and check it. That timer is allowing your brain to get rid of the thinking that needs to go away while you are doing another task. And then when the timer goes off, your brain can flip and go to that other thing easily. Time blocking and batching are the best time savers ever when you are an entrepreneur. Now, I'm not going to go deep into time blocking and batching, but what it means is simply blocking your time each day and then batching certain tasks together, like with like. So, for example, if you have a lot of phone calls to make and you have some client work and you have some social media to do, rather than mixing them up and doing them all throughout the day, you do all of your phone calls at one time, you work on all of your social media at one time, etc., etc. And then you can break it down even further. So with your social media, if you've got a blog post to write and you've got some Facebook post to create, if you have another blog post that you're going to write, do your blog posting together because that will allow your brain to focus and it will give it momentum to keep going on that same task rather than doing the bouncing and going to something else and then having to recalibrate with that 23 minutes and 15 seconds. My two favorite things to teach my clients are awareness and accountability. When you have awareness, you are able to then take care of what is happening. So if you are aware that email is a struggle with you and it derails your focus all the time, you can then figure out a way to tackle that email distraction. If you are aware that all of those little red dots that are all over your phone are really distracting, even if you're not looking at them, then you can do something about that and it won't be bothering you while you're focusing. That second one that I mentioned, accountability, it's my number one. Accountability is huge when it comes to getting things done, for me anyway. Now, it depends on your personality, but for a lot of us, we need external expectations in order to get things done. Some of us have that self-drive that just gets us moving forward, and some of us don't. And for me, I need that external push in order to get me going. And so when I feel distracted or I get distracted, I use accountability. So by taking these strategies that I'm giving you here today and implementing them, you are going to be able to reduce your stress. You're going to be able to focus more on money generating tasks, and you're going to be able to juggle things a little bit better. I think that awareness, if you have that awareness, you are going to be way more ahead than you were before, and it's going to allow you to come up with your own ways of tackling the distractions on top of what I've already given you today in this video. So I encourage you to make a list of what you heard today and take an audit of things that may be causing you distractions and see what it is that you can do to be more intentional and to act rather than reacting to all of the things that pop up. And if you have a favorite one that you use all the time or a favorite one that I mentioned today, comment below and tell me about it. I would love to hear. If you don't know, I have a service called Get More Done One-on-One, and it is my quick coaching sessions. And these sessions are created specifically for things like we're talking about today. So if you struggle with distractions or accountability, or you really don't know what it is that's causing you to not be able to get done what you need to get done, you can schedule a 1.5 or 3 hour session with me, and we can brainstorm and figure out what's going on and get you a plan in place. You can go to theorderlyentrepreneur.com/get more done and schedule a session with me, and we can work together for just a little quick coaching session. If you liked today's video and want more, you can watch this video right here. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you get reminded about the videos that I post each week. I will see you in the next video.